Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. Yes, please. Preemptive like, delicious things, goodies. Hi guys, best roast in London. Food Insider, preemptive like, original link, top description, Discord, under that. Love to have you. Pull up a chair. Let's go.
No Sunday in Britain is complete without a full gravy-covered roast.
Ooh, pop over.
Oh wow, it's so good.
Oh.
Hey guys, it's Harry and Ju.
And today we are on the hunt for the best roast dinner in London. So as usual, we've trawled through local recommendations, TripAdvisor and social media to try and find the best of the best.
So we've narrowed it down to 4 places, all of which put their own unique spin on the roast dinner. And we're going to go and order the most popular thing on the menu and pick our favourite. You ready to eat?
Yeah, I am.
Let's go. For those of you who don't know, the Sunday roast is a traditional British meal served on a Sunday.
What we will be looking for on our plate is some succulent roast meat, well-seasoned roasted potatoes, thick, tasty gravy, and fluffy Yorkshire puddings, which are a savoury batter cooked in a cupcake
Guys, so
dough.
like that's what I would call a popover. I think it's exactly the same thing, but the only time I ever eat them, definitely Thanksgiving, and then maybe Christmas, maybe Easter. But so good.
Fluffy Yorkshire puddings, which are a savoury batter cooked in a cupcake-style mould.
Our first stop is the Jugged Hare, a restaurant which specialises in game.
Guys, I'm gonna be switching screens, okay? It's gonna happen.
Our roast is the best because it's freshly made and the meat is very high quality.
What is that coating?
Beef is
Brown
put on.
sugar?
We slow rotisserie it for 3 to 4 hours. Potatoes are then roasted in the oven along with the Yorkshire puddings. And then that will come together on the plate, which is carved by, with the meat, which is carved by our saucier who's on sauce at the time.
Yeah, it's delicious. Yeah, you're not getting like your huge big plate of veggies, but everything that's on the plate is like perfectly cooked and worth coming for.
That's worth it. Can I just say, like, I appreciate, this is just my opinion, all right? You can yell at me in the comments or whatever. But I wish there was mashed potatoes rather than like I don't need like the salad. Ooh, is that mashed or like is that a hard-boiled egg or something, or a soft? Like I just want a big thing of meat, big thing of mashed potatoes, one big popover, and then just drenched in gravy and yes.
So I think just in terms of like presentation, the way it's plated up, it's kind of like more of a fine dining feel than maybe you're used to from like a classic pub roast dinner. But hopefully they've found a way to kind of like elevate things and it will taste really good.
Time to tuck in?
Time to tuck in. I think we go for the meat first. I'm not sure I've ever had beef that tender.
No.
You gotta go. Actually, no. I was gonna say you have to scoop everything in together in a fork bowl and then eat it all mixed. But they have to tell us how each individual thing is. So, never mind. I'll stop.
So juicy, like it's very succulent. It just, I think the way that it's been pre-sliced as well, like that, it's not, a big hearty slab of beef. It's like, it's very fine, it's very thin, but it's just the right texture and just the right thickness.
Right, so I think we should try it with some of this horseradish cream.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not an egg.
Ooh.
It's so smooth.
It's not overpowering either. It's quite a fairly gentle horseradish taste.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of like burn that we're used to from like a wasabi or something.
Yeah.
We try some potato.
One sec.
So if I'm being honest, it's probably not the best roast potato I've had. I think it's like, could be crispier on the outside.
I heard
They've
what he
gone for
said.
quite a light golden brown colouring, as opposed to maybe the darker colouring that you're used to from roast potato. But credit to them in that the inside is really good. It's very, very light and fluffy on the inside.
Should we go for this Yorkshire? Yeah. Wow.
Sounds crispy.
That is a crunch
crispy.
right there.
Maybe a bit too crispy.
The top is slightly chewy, but not too much. It's just crispy enough. I think it's extremely light.
I want a bit of chew on a Yorkshire.
Yeah.
I don't want it to just kind of crack and crumble.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just the right amount, I would say. Overall, this whole plate has a slight sweetness to it and very light, very delicate balance of flavours. On to our second stop, Blacklock. It can take up to
For
2
a
months to get a
millisecond,
reservation
I thought
at
that
this
said
popular
something else.
restaurant.
The
But
best-selling
I'm a child.
roast dinner that we do is the all-in. It's an opportunity to
Who's
try
this dreamy
all the
guy?
different roast meats that we sell. So beef, pork, and lamb, all on one plate to share for the whole table with lots of trimmings, unlimited gravy, a real feast.
Unlimited gravy.
We start about a week beforehand making the gravy. The Yorkshire pudding mix gets put together on a Thursday.
Ooh, those look even better. Ooh.
We then take large joints of beef, pork and lamb, cook them whole over the open charcoal grill. So the meat, we feel, gets more flavour cooked as a large piece.
Ooh, and the dripping falls down.
Yorkshire puddings are, and roast potatoes
Those
are
popovers look amazing.
roasted in the oven in duck fat.
Why no mashed potatoes? Jesus.
Meat will all get presented on the plate with a few little bits of crackling on top, and away it goes.
That's for one. There's no way that's for one person.
You've got to be kidding me.
I was gonna say just drench that in gravy, but I like that they're bringing the gravy to them so that it like doesn't get soggy and they could personalize it. Oh, so it's more of like a you pick off that, put it on your plate, douse your gravy and eat it.
Look at
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness. Wow.
$20 a person? Worth it.
This is certainly the most monster roast I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you. The size of this thing is enormous. I think it's £20 per person, but you get so much food.
No way it's that
It's
heavy.
like a giant's feast.
Right, I'm getting some of this beef.
Get it? Bunch. Laugh.
The first thing that hits you is the flavour of that gravy. And it's just a really sexy gravy.
Yeah, it's really
oh my god.
thick.
It's so luxurious and such a strong flavour.
This is a very picture-perfect roast potato. So you got that golden brown exterior.
Guys,
Interior-
don't get me wrong. I love potato. I love roast potatoes. I love baked potatoes. I love mashed potatoes. I love mashed potatoes the most. And I think that they go best with a dish like this because you can mix it in.
It's looking nice and soft and fluffy. Let me give this one a try. Oh yeah,
It's really well seasoned.
yeah.
I broke my
really-
cardinal rule of not eating before watching a Food Insider.
Really good crisp on that roast potato. I think the duck fat, they cook it in duck fat, which is like notorious for.
Why does
producing
duck fat
really,
sound
really
so
good roast
delicious?
potato, and it really does show.
Yeah.
One of the most beautiful popovers I've ever seen. Tell me it tastes good. I didn't hear as much crunch,
It's
which
really
I
good.
like.
It's not too soggy at the bottom, like it really retains its structure. And it's wonderfully light, wonderfully crispy. The batter's risen just perfectly.
Really airy. Yeah, very light.
This is actually the sexiest roast I've ever had. I'm going to continue to say the word sexy.
keep going for
It's
that one.
damn sexy.
What is that?
Continue to say the word sexy.
Keep going.
Is that like a French onion soup?
It's damn sexy.
Next, we head to Oblix in the Shard skyscraper, which offers a
Walkie-talkie
fine
tower.
dining alternative to the Sunday roast.
I like the look of this tower.
For me, the best thing about Sunday roast is the beef, and of course, being an Englishman, Yorkshire puddings as well. The beef we're cooking today is a rib of beef.
Oh!
Being an Englishman,
Lineage month?
Yorkshire puddings as well. The beef we're cooking today.
That's a perfect amount of marbling. I saw Business Insider or Food Insider, I think it was Business Insider, of like, why is Wagyu beef so expensive? I saw a damn Arby's commercial, a Wagyu burger. Arby's, you're trash, okay, Arby's? And I've heard that, like, even at a nice restaurant, if they say that, like, they have a Wagyu burger or like a Kobe beef burger, or are they the same thing? That is technically impossible because Wagyu beef isn't even is like too tender to even form a patty. But I was watching the Wagyu beef video, and to me it's one of those things like caviar that they seem like they're just expensive for the sake of being expensive. Like, it looked like it was too fatty, and the Wagyu beef, and like too much marbling, and I'm like, I'd rather have a $25 nice sirloin than a $200 Wagyu steak. But that looks nice.
It's a rib of beef, and it'll be cooked in the Josper oven, which is kind of like it's an indoor barbecue basically, filled with charcoal. It gets up to around 350 degrees, so you get a really kind of amazing caramelization, a real sort of full-on sort of smoky flavor. So the roast potatoes.
They're gonna say to let
today,
it rest. I just want it in my mouth. I get it all the time. You gotta let it rest. I get it. I'm not a chef. There's a reason to trap the juices, but like I want to eat my meat. I want to eat my steak right off the grill, like right off. Bang, give me it.
They have been boiled just till they're just cooked in salted water, and then they have been sort of roasted in the oven with some thyme, some rosemary, some garlic, some rock salt, and
they're roasted in the oven with thyme for a time. I'm just in a weird mood today.
Use half duck fat and half beef fat as well.
Duck fat just sounds good.
Slightly larger Yorkshire puddings than normal. Side dishes we serve with the Sunday roast is mashed potato with garlic crisps, and broccoli with like a chili dressing with some preserved lemon on top as well. Just helps to keep that side dish and that vegetable nice, light and fresh.
That's basically my death row dinner. Like, you know, when you go on death row and you're gonna die, as if like we've all experienced this. Like when you're on death row and you're gonna die, and like the day's up, they're like, all right, you're dying today. Electric chair or whatnot. But you get a final meal. I'd be like, I want a nice medium rare steak. By the way, I don't think you should give them a last meal. They don't deserve one. I don't know what my view on capital punishment. But my last one would be, I'd want mashed potatoes, some roasted either asparagus, grilled asparagus, or broccoli with the steak.
Broccoli with like a chili dressing with some preserved lemon on top as well. Just helps to keep that side dish and that vegetable nice, light and fresh, as opposed to being heavy.
Wow, well, talk about fine dining. This looks exquisite. Everything looks so beautifully put together.
The color on that beef is incredible. It's so...
Wait a second. I'm paying $48
Well,
for half of that? So I'm paying 48. Oh, is the wine included? But okay, fine, $48 with that amount of meat there. but you're giving me that much mashed potatoes for 2 people? That's not enough for me. The portions on the popovers are fine, 3. The steak is fine, 3. Potatoes are nice. I get it's a nice restaurant. You got some wine. But as far as the broccoli and the mashed, like double the broccoli and quadruple the mashed potatoes, and that's a good price.
Wow, well, talk about fine dining. This looks exquisite. Everything
Look
looks
how beautifully cooked that
so
meat
beautifully
is.
put together.
The color on that beef is incredible.
So
It's
good.
so dark. Even the fat is like really darkly colored.
I want to suck the bone marrow. It looks so good.
Damn, that's good.
We both just like sat back.
Oh my Lord Jesus Christ in heaven, Jesus, Mary, Mother of God.
We're just like, oh wow, at the same time. It's just like juicy enough. It's got flakes of salt over the top as well. I feel like it's just salty enough as well.
It's kind of taste-wise and almost texture-wise closer to a steak than to like a classic roast maybe.
Yeah.
Also, just because of the way it's cooked on those coals, you do get that kind of like char flavor on the outside, which is really, really good.
Yorkie time.
I don't know what it is. Like I'm used to her. Like, and I like her a lot. In a lot of Food Insider videos, but this is my at least second, if not third, watching him, and I felt so bad because I kind of judged him by his. I just don't like new people sometimes coming in, and I'm like, ugh, who's this guy? But he has rubbed off on me, and I like both of these hosts really well, a lot.
Closer to a steak than to like a classic roast maybe.
Yeah.
Also, just because of the way it's cooked on those coals, you do get that kind of like char flavor on the outside, which is really, really good.
Yorkie time.
Yorkie time. That's really good.
So a pudding is literally anything baked to you guys. So, like any flour-based product or sugar that is put in the oven is a pudding. So what do you call what we call, like if we gave you vanilla pudding over here, like what would you call it? Vanilla sauce?
It's not very crispy. And I wouldn't say that it almost has a sweet taste to it, and it just reminds you quite a lot of it being a batter. It's almost like a little bit cakey in a way.
I get that a little bit. Yeah, I get that from it.
Oh wow, it's so good. That has just got the right amount of salt on it.
And the only flaw I have in this process that they do, which I don't think is really avoidable. I think it's unavoidable, but that the first dish they try in the day is going to have the biggest advantage because they're hungriest. And when you get to like the 4th or 5th restaurant, you're going to be kind of full. So I like in the fish and chips one, they kind of went up in quality. So at least when you're sort of full, you get the best food.
The right amount of oil. The garlic, you can really taste the garlic. Our last stop takes us to northwest London
Burrito.
for a rather unique and portable take on the traditional Sunday roast.
I don't like it already.
I was doing some work with a friend of mine in street food before, so I was doing that part-time.
Wrapped in Yorkshire pudding? Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
I was doing some work with a friend of mine in street food before, so I was doing that part-time for a few months and kind of realised from all the events that we were doing, there's nothing British, really. And then the roast dinner was the thing that I thought was that we do better as a country than anything else. And then just the whole Yorkshire pudding wrapping up thing just seemed like the best way to do it. You don't want a knife and fork for taking stuff.
Checking out the menu in the Uber on the way over here, and this was the one thing that drew my eye. I actually tried to make a Yorkshire.
How is she so tan? You're in the UK. Are they obviously they have sunny days in the UK.
In the Uber on the way over here, and this was the one thing that drew my eye. I actually tried to make a Yorkshire pudding at home. Failed
Is that mashed potatoes, the white stuff?
miserably, but this one, absolutely incredible.
So the beef wrap starts with the giant Yorkshire pudding, so we get that toasting off on the grill so it's all nice and crispy. And then as that happens, we start to build it. So there's a sage and onion stuffing goes on the bottom.
Sage? Sage? Ah.
Followed by garlic and rosemary roast potatoes. Then today we've got a bit of spinach that will go onto it. Then the braised beef.
More.
Bit of red wine gravy.
Actually, if you put too much, you won't be able to roll it up like a taco.
Horseradish, and then all wrapped up. And then there is your beef Yorkshire burrito.
Okay, I take back what I said. That looks amazing.
Thank you.
She's like, thank you. $8.50. I've already had 4 Yorkshire dinners.
Wow, that is a mouthful. I just bit into some lovely, really soft beef and then straight through a crispy roast.
Is it just me, or like I would rather have like I'm at 12.29. Like I'd rather have like just these cuts on it instead of
A crispy roast
instead of this, but I'm sure it's still good.
potato.
Maybe it provides a bit of sauce.
There's the kind of textures that you really want in a great Sunday lunch.
Horseradish is a classic pairing with beef in the UK with your roast dinners because it just kind of gives you that bit of like, it's kind of heat, isn't it? Like a bit of a heat that just kind of really cuts through what can be quite rich meat, especially when like this, it's kind of had that braising effect in the red wine.
Yeah. I was worried actually about the roast potatoes, because they're deep fried instead of being like classically roasted. I was a little bit worried about them.
So I mean, just to talk about the Yorkshire itself, it's not like a normal Yorkshire I've had in that it's not hugely kind of fluffy. I think the way they've kind of made it, obviously because it has to have a bit more structural integrity to hold all this liquid in. So it's a little bit sort of chewier than I was expecting. But I think in kind of the grand scheme of the whole dish, it's kind of necessary.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a classic Yorkshire
Is it good?
pudding. But I'm really enjoying it.
Now it's time to decide which is the best of the best.
It's got to be the Obelix one. The Black Clock one looks okay. I'm gonna go with the Yorkshire burrito being the last. Just because I wish they used more of the classic kind of red meat. I'm not saying they have to use the crazy expensive meat like right here. This one looked good. It's just kind of... to me, it's easily the Obelix, even considering the priciness. Easily. And obviously, I didn't taste anything, so...
So we've had 4 roast dinners in London, and now it is time to reveal what we thought was the best of the best. Now,
So last time in the fish and chips, she went with the more luxurious, amazing one, which I thought was good. He went with the more good one, but you're more likely to find at a classic English fish and chips, which I thought was a good idea. I wonder if the same is going to happen.
I really honestly don't know what you picked, Harry.
No, I don't know what you've picked, but I'm excited to find out. Should we reveal
She
on
picked
one?
the orgasmic one.
Okay.
Countdown.
Okay.
Let's go. All right. 3,
3,
2, 1.
Ooh. Ooh, division.
So I like the Obelix. I forget which one the
Disagreement.
black clock is.
Okay, I'm actually, you know what? I was about to write Obelix. I was about to write Obelix. I mean, why did you pick Obelix?
So for me, it was
It
kind of a
looked
two-horse
amazing.
race between Obelix and Blacklock. I went for Obelix because it was more of an experience.
I forget which one the Black Clock is.
Maybe for someone who's coming from outside of the UK and wants to try a roast dinner, I think the fact that you get to go up the Shard and just the quality of the food and the atmosphere in there was fantastic, and I just really, really enjoyed it.
Actually, for exactly the same reasons, I would have picked Obelix. The reason why I picked Blacklock is because, for me, it really defines what the idea of a classic Sunday roast is, which is a little bit more messy. You kind of get in there, it's very meaty, very hearty, and just the portion sizes, I thought it was fantastic value for money. And
I do like the idea that it's like a big plate and you kind of just pick off onto it.
there's just something a little bit more
Go
kind
with
of
the Obelix,
like
though.
charmingly
Come
rough
on.
and ready about it. It's like, it's just
Oh,
getting
and I think they have the best gravy.
stuck in
looking.
there, and with gravy everywhere, and with the amount of beet you get. I think that Obelix was fantastic for fine dining, but for me, the idea of a Sunday roast is a little bit more rough, I think. Yeah.
That's exactly the they had the opposite reasonings for the fish and chips.
You know what, G?
Both
Pass
of
me
them.
the pen. I'm going to back down. I'm going to agree with you. Like I said, it was a two-horse race. There wasn't a lot between it. And I think maybe for the more sort of authentic roast dinner experience in terms of like the quantity and getting your hands a bit dirty,
The same reasoning for fish and chips.
I think Blacklock maybe just edges it. So,
That was good.
sorry, Obelix. Blacklock's the winner.
Pretty much, if you're like the fanciest one in these competitions on Food Insider, you're not going to lose by you're not going to win by default of you being a less classic, more rustic, everyman's food. Black Clock won.
There you have it. We've crowned Blacklock as the best roast dinner in London. Did we miss anywhere that you like? Let us know in the comments below.
Cool video, guys. I got to work on my lighting, and now I have the hiccups, and it's really annoying. See you guys next time. Hope you're all doing well. Chin up. If not, you'll be good soon. Emotions are fickle, my friend. See you guys next time.